Hello and welcome back to episode 6 of the Alpine F1 Manager Career Mode. We're back today ahead of the Spanish Grand Prix. Of course, Fernando Alonso's home race, so we'll be desperate to give him a good performance here. A little update on what we've been doing on the cars. They are both now fitted with new rear wings. They're both now fitted with new underfloors, and they're both fitted with the new suspensions from earlier this year, although that's not new for this weekend. Elsewhere, we are also in the middle of designing a new chassis design, as you saw at the end of the last episode. As soon as we've done that, we'll then be designing new front wing for this season. We've got some research going on for next season's front wing at the moment. Our final fourth rear wing will be prepared over the weekend, but obviously you would hope we're not going to be needing it anyway, because hopefully we don't have any crashes that cause us to need it. We've also had a upgrade to the CFD simulator that has been completed. Design Center and Wind Tunnel are in the process of being updated as we speak, and we are also scouting out potential replacements for Fernando Alonso. Obviously Piastri is an option, but I'm umming and ahhing whether to go with what they're doing in real life. Alonso's going at the end of the season, that I can tell you. It's just, is Piastri going to replace him, or are we also going to need somebody else? I will tell you who we are currently looking at as options. We're looking at Daniel Ricciardo, Mick Schumacher. I was looking at Nick De Vries, but he's got another 3 years on his contract, so I can't see us being able to get him. And he's also not interested, but I don't know if that's just because it's race weekend. It is. I'm pretty sure he is interested outside us. So he's an option, but he is also 27. So probably doubting myself as I'm saying that. But we are looking at options throughout the season. Alonso will be leaving. It's just who is going to be replacing him. For this weekend at his home Grand Prix, nobody will be replacing him other than Piastri for P1. Going into this Grand Prix weekend, we've got expected strategies through from Pirelli. We're expecting very much we will use at least one set of softs. So I can't be quite so frivolous with them in practice like I normally am. And the same goes for qualifying. We probably want to make sure, more so than ever, that we maybe avoid the hards. I think that might be a shout for us, is avoid the hards. Just use like soft, medium, soft, or medium, medium, soft in the race. It doesn't appear that the hards are really a race tyre for this Grand Prix. So we're going to plan for that a little bit more. Hopefully it pays off and we will be able to have another successful weekend. Obviously, in Miami, we weren't quite at the same level as we had been previously. But hopefully here in Barcelona, we're going to turn on the style. So we are back just ahead of qualifying. As you can see, from practice 1, we had 9th and 10th for Piastri and Ocon, respectively. Practice 2, Alonso was 9th, Ocon down in 14th. Not a great session for him, although, having said that, he was on the hards, whereas basically everyone else was on at least mediums. Practice 3, Alonso was 8th, Ocon 14th. This time he was on the softs like most of the rest of the session, so that was just a bit of a poor result. We head into qualifying now, and what the plan will be is, as usual, I will come back either at the end of Q1 or Q2, depending on how comfortable we are going through in Q1. So we are coming towards the end of Q2 now. As you can see, Ocon on his flying lap. He is needing a time here after he spun out during the first run, I should say, not the first session. We both went through Q1 very easily. Ocon got caught in traffic the first lap, he did, but on the second lap he was fine and went through with no problem. Now we've got him following one of the McLarens, so we're really hoping there's no mistakes ahead of him, and he should be getting through to Q3 if all goes to plan. This is where he spun last time round. He doesn't do so this time round. Russell is out in Q2. Russell not able to improve his time. We've already established Alonso is through. We're actually going to cancel his lap, call him in, save those tyres just a little bit. Can Ocon put himself through to Q3 as well? He needs to get over the line as As soon as he can, he gets over the line, puts himself into Q3 in 7th place. Russell is down in 15th and out of qualifying. It's another weekend where we might have an advantage over Mercedes. So we're now in Q3. Ocon is on a flying lap. Alonso, we've made a mistake with. We sent him back out to try and get a second run in early. So we essentially went for 3 runs with Alonso. And that has not paid off because we didn't get him out on that 3rd run in time. Ocon, though, with a chance to improve his time. Alonso's going to be starting 7th. Or is he? Can Ocon move him down? Ocon moves himself up to 8th. We are starting on the 4th row of the grid. 7th and 8th for Alpine. Right behind Hamilton and Bottas. Still a big advantage for us over George Russell down in 15th. We're ahead of both the McLarens and in between the Alfa Romeos. So a good position for us there.
Race day has arrived and the time has come for these drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel.
We didn't see any unexpected prowess from Alpine during qualifying, but they did well for themselves. Everything's still open to them for the race. We saw a reasonable push from Mercedes in qualifying, and they'll have plenty of opportunities here to achieve a great result. A sunny day here with only a few clouds in the sky. If things stay this way, the weather shouldn't pose any challenges to the teams.
And there are going to be some tough calls to make in Catalonia today. So let's see who makes the best ones for the Spanish Grand Prix.
So this is going to be our tyre strategy for the Spanish Grand Prix. We're going to go with Alonso on soft, medium, soft. Ocon, medium, medium, soft. So split strategies for the 2 drivers. Ocon's going to try and go a little bit later into the race before his pit stops to try and possibly catch a safety car. And then at the end, he's going to have a fresh set of softs to really push on. I say fresh, they're going to be like 97% worn or something. And then Alonso going a little bit less towards the end. He's going to be trying to get track position early on and then maintain it throughout the race. Obviously, we want to just split the strategies a little bit. I'm hoping this will work out. Ocon has the potential to drag those mediums out a little bit longer so that you can get even better softs at the end, perhaps. But we'll see how the race pans out. And we're going to go attacking off the line, see if we can get a position or 2 straight away.
I don't want to tempt fate, but there are quite a few clouds overhead as we look at the lineup on the grid. Looking here at Fernando Alonso. They might not be in the top 3 spots, but things could change fast once the race gets underway. Further back, we've got Esteban Ocon. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. The race start is mere seconds away. One of the oldest races on the Formula One calendar. This is the Spanish Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
We'll jump straight on board with Alonso as he battles straight off the bat with Bottas, who seems to pull away. Ocon is going past a couple of cars here. Can he get past Sainz as well? He's going to try and follow Bottas through. Alonso's not had a good start. He's dropped behind Ricciardo. Ocon, however, is battling with Sainz. Can he get up the inside of Bottas now as well? He's had a little look. He's got across the grass a touch, but he's done it. Ocon up into 4th place early on in this Grand Prix. What a start for him.
Lift and coast required. Copy.
Lift and coast is a bit much. We've just told him to go balance. He's going after Perez as well. Round the outside, he's not going to be able to get him. But let's allow him now just to sit behind him. Alonso, we need to get him past Ricciardo again. Not able to do so at the moment, although he is past Hamilton. Russell, meanwhile, has gone backwards down into 16th. So that is something that is going in our favour. And now let's allow Alonso just to sit behind Ricardo, keep these tyres fresh for a little bit.
Back up. Yeah, copy, mate.
Ocon is in a fantastic position at this point. If we can keep him on the back of the Red Bulls, then he could be on for a fantastic finish. But we don't want him to go for the overtake here, because that'll just lose him and Perez time. I'd rather him just get pulled away from the chasing pack, and hopefully that'll be the case. Alonso is now past Ricardo. Let's have a look at how that happened. Was it down the straight? It was indeed. He gets past him. Ricardo also holds Hamilton behind him, which is even better for us, because obviously we're battling with the Mercedes. If they can get stuck behind Ricardo, that's phenomenal news for us. We now find ourselves in a position where Ocon is battling with Bottas and Sainz for 4th place. Alonso and Hamilton are kind of in their own isolated battle for the 7th place. Ideally, Ocon can kind of stick with these guys, and we're going to need to tell him to conserve. Alonso's just gone past Hamilton and set the fastest lap as well. Can he hold off Hamilton into this first corner? He can. We're going to drop him down to balanced. They have swear words in the game. Who knew?
Drop back a little bit, please. Okay, copy.
And now we can see Alonso is getting onto the back of this group that Ocon is currently leading. However, Sainz has gone past Ocon, which wasn't part of our plan. Hopefully, if they can stay in the DRS of Bottas and Sainz, then Ocon will be able to just not allow Hamilton to get past him. But also, we don't need to be getting too aggressive at this stage of the Grand Prix. This kind of suits us here, just having a DRS train that we can just relax in. Pit window for Alonso opens in 2 laps time. Sainz and Bottas are both in the pits. We are going to respond on the following lap by getting Alonso in for his pit stop as well. Hopefully, we can ignore that because we've already... I'm going to double check that's gone through. Okay, it has gone through. Ocon's just been overtaken. We've got yellow flags in Sector 2. Doesn't appear to be anything relating to us. It was actually Vettel. Here comes Alonso for his pit stop. Verstappen also is in the pits. We need a good pit stop here, please. And out he comes. We're looking for Sainz and Zhou here. Sainz and Bottas, sorry. Looks like Sainz is going to have Alonso. Bottas, however, is going to have him as well. So Alonso does lose out there. I think the undercut is a bit more prevalent than we give it credit for.
Start pushing.
Copy.
But hopefully we can get back out into that battle as quick as possible.
Speed up, please. Speed up.
Alonso's just past Russell. I've made the decision. We're going to leave Ocon out a little bit longer. He's only got 60% worn tyres. So I think by extending this stint, we can even tell him to go on the attack in doing so. Let it last a little bit longer. Let him try and establish a bit of a gap to like the Hamilton and the Bottas. And then when we do pit him, he can come out with even fresher tyres. And hopefully he'll find himself in a very good position at that time. And we're talking about when we need to pit him. He's just got to set the fastest time. This is exactly why I've not rushed to pit him. So my new plan for Ocon, we're making a on-the-fly change. Ocon is going to go straight to softs after this medium stint and then another set of softs. He's in a position here where we can go that aggressive with him because he's established himself to be able to do this. Pitting him in a minute, in the next couple of laps, we'll put him kind of in this area here. I'm almost hoping we might get a safety car, but I think this is going to be the pit window for us now. We're going to go for the ever so slightly more worn softs now, but you can kind of see where this could be an absolute masterstroke for us. Ocon is in the pits. The tyres are off. The tyres are on. It's a good stop, 2.7 seconds. Where's he going to come out? We've got Bottas coming down the straight here. Alonso's battling with him. And then Ocon is straight out behind them. There's a very good chance for Ocon to put in a really good race here. Ocon goes past Bottas towards turn 1. We've actually thrown in some team orders. We've told Alonso not to battle with Ocon because of the position that he's put himself in. I feel that's the right thing for us to do. He's gone and put in the fastest lap again now. And now we're going to try and get one up on the cars ahead of us. We're going to pit Alonso for his softs at this stage. Hopefully, we might get an undercut on them ahead of us. He has had a bit of a lockup, but hopefully recover from that. Having said that, we've actually seen a couple of mistakes from Alonso on his in-lap, which means he's definitely not going to be getting the undercut that we would have liked. Sainz and Bottas both in at the same time as well. Little bit of a mess from Alonso, if we're being honest, on that in-lap. And Ocon is back into the lead of the Grand Prix. Of course, that won't be lasting because we've still got to pit him. But nevertheless, it's always nice when you can see your man in the lead. Let's have a quick look at the tyres. So Hamilton and Sainz have gone on to softs. They are with it. What's going on here? Alonso, what are you doing? He's not having a good time with it at the moment. He's run wide again. We're going to have to tell him to get down to balance because he's not having a good time with it at the moment. So we've just seen Leclerc go past Ocon, and our response to that is going to be to pit Ocon. He's going to come out on much fresher tyres for this last 11 laps. We just need a good pit stop now. 3.1. It's a little bit longer than we would like. But let's have a look at where he's going to come out. It's going to be ahead of Bottas. So now we can unleash him. Send him on the attack towards Sainz and Hamilton. I'm not sure if he's going to get them. But as long as he stays ahead of Bottas, then it's mission accomplished as far as we're concerned. He just needs to break this DRS. Well, Sainz locked up, which has allowed Ocon to get right on the back of the Ferrari and down the straight. He gets the job done. He is free now, hopefully, to go after Lewis Hamilton ahead.
DRS disabled, DRS disabled.
Can he catch up with the Mercedes as well? Sainz is going to have a go back at him, not able to get him. Ocon and Sainz are kind of trading the position lap by lap, corner by corner at times. I think in reality that's probably costing them time to catch up to Hamilton. The gap is down to 2.8 seconds. Whether we can find a way to get that gap down a little bit more, I don't think it's going to quite come off for us on this occasion. Ocon and Sainz are too busy battling with each other to really close that gap, unfortunately. But now as we approach the final lap, Leclerc's crossed the line for it. Ocon is going to give it everything he's got. Sainz is quite far back on this lap. So therefore, Ocon should be 5th place. Alonso is absolutely fine here in 8th place, well ahead of Russell. At the moment, I can't do the maths to tell you where that's going to leave us when it comes to the overall points, but you can see Alonso is absolutely fine. Ocon, sorry, is absolutely fine in 5th place. He's going to be following Lewis Hamilton over the line. Not quite close enough to get the overtake. You can see him as he's coming around the final few corners, but not quite close enough. It was a good idea to train strategy on the fly.
Let's check the flag.
Oh, very nice.
Well, that was an eventful one. Fantastic. See you then.
And it's also given Ocon.
Check the flag.
Yeah, well done, guys. It was a good weekend.
Nice work, mate. Well managed.
It has given Ocon his best finish of the season. And Alonso, not quite the finish that we would have liked from him, but 8th place is still nothing for us to sniff at.
This is a performance.
I'm not sure. Oh, Ocon didn't quite manage to hold on to the fastest lap in the end. But nevertheless, it's a good weekend for us. Drivers' Championship, that sees Alonso picking up his 4 points. Drops a bit further back behind Hamilton. Ocon picking up his 10 points. Closes the gap down to 1 on Bottas, 4 on Alonso. Ideally, what we want, we're also maintaining the 3-point gap to Mercedes. It ends up that we have equal points. What we really want in the long run is Ocon to outperform Alonso, because he's the man that we're going to be keeping on next year, whereas Alonso we're going to be letting go. As I say, I'm not sure what we're going to do with Piastri, but I can confirm at this stage Alonso will be leaving Alpine at the end of the season. So a good weekend for us in Spain. We're going to be at Monaco next, where hopefully we can have a fantastic qualifying, because that's basically 90% of the way to a good race. We are currently working on a new chassis, and front wing research is close to completion. I will admit that the first time we went into the research, I thought I used like a reasonable amount of wind tunnel time. I was talking to Ashman, he thought he'd gone way over the top. As it turns out, I hadn't used enough. And I understand now what the way that it works. So the wind tunnel hours and the MAU hours are kind of roughly every 2 months. So now that means I can put a lot more time into development on parts, which will hopefully benefit us in the long run with the car. But if you have enjoyed that, please do leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Go and check out my FM stuff if you are interested in that. And thank you very much for watching.